When I created Virtual Wholesaling 1.0 back in 2007. Some of my students came out with Virtual Wholesaling 2.0, a slight improvement. But today I bring you Wholesaling 10.0 because what I've done is I skipped all the rest. And today I bring you the best. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Chris Chico and I'm considered the godfather of virtual wholesaling. Now, you don't call yourself the godfather. Other people call you the godfather, and that's what happened when I invented the entire system of virtual wholesaling back in 2007. Many have come after me. Some of my students are teaching this right now. However, you are looking at the original. If you're doing cold calling, sellers are telling you that you are the 5th person that has called them this week. How are you going to find a deal? If you're doing text messaging, you better get your attorney on retainer, because guess what? You're going to be in a lot of trouble if you start sending out unsolicited text. Your market, your local market, it's oversaturated. There's so many investors. Some of you have resorted to virtual wholesaling as your escape plan to then leave your current market and to go to a market that is so much better. It's like a market up in the heavens that deals will come down from above. But that's not the case. The problem is that the old way of doing virtual wholesaling just doesn't work that well anymore. Here's the way it works with virtual wholesaling, and the ones that are teaching it in virtual wholesaling 2.0-ish is go out and pick a market. Maybe you're gonna pick Oklahoma City. Not saying to go to Oklahoma City, but a lot of people like that market. So they go there. And now you're going to go out and get a list of prospects. And the problem is the list of prospects that you're getting, the tax delinquent list, the absentee owner list, is the same list that everybody else is going after. Then you're gonna go ahead and send them text messages, which I don't recommend. You're gonna send them direct mail. You're gonna cold call them, but in the end, you're doing every single thing that everybody else is doing. And you're gonna find that you're not gonna put any deals together, and then you're gonna be just wondering, is this business for me? I don't want that to happen to you. But you are in luck today, because today I have the solution. I am going to liberate you from all these problems, and you're gonna thank me. And you're gonna send me cards, you're gonna send me gifts. It's okay, I take those all day long. And that's because I'm introducing to you today Virtual Wholesaling 10.0. Yes, again, we skipped all the rest and we're going right to the best. And of course you know that everything I tell you is the truth, because unlike these other gurus that have the Lamborghinis and they have all their fancy toys, I've got the green plant behind me, and that, my friends, is the reason why you should follow me. So Virtual Wholesaling 10.0 is a different way of doing deals that requires you not to select a market. It eliminates the need for you to know how to run comps and how to analyze properties. It completely removes the obstacle of you being an imbecile on the phone and not knowing what to say. Don't worry, I was an imbecile too, so I'm not knocking you on that. Everyone is an imbecile at some point. I heard a quote the other day that was really insightful. When you're dead, you don't know you're dead. It's just hard for everyone else around you. Same thing when you're stupid. They'll be that guy. It completely eliminates the need for you to learn how to find cash buyers. You no longer have to learn how to negotiate with property owners. Bottom line is you can have others do the work for you and you still make a ton of money. Now there's 2 steps to Virtual Wholesaling 10.0. I know, you figured that it would be more steps because it's 10.0, but it's actually simpler. Component number 1 is that you have to adopt a wider footprint. I call it my nationwide model of real estate investing, national virtual wholesaling, nationwide virtual wholesaling. So what you'll do is that you're gonna select either your entire state. So for example, I live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, which is Broward County. Conventional real estate would say, pick your county to work in. I wouldn't do that. I am going to select the entire state of Florida for me to be able to do deals in. That's one option. Option number 2 is I would select a grouping of states. So maybe I'll select Florida, Texas, California, Nevada, and I would select a bunch of states and group them together, let's say 10 to 12 states, or I may select the entire country. Now here's the thing, you can't do this with conventional marketing methods, because are you gonna cold call the entire state of Florida? It's highly unlikely and very difficult. Are you going to hire an army of Filipino workers that cold call the entire state of Florida for you? Again, you could, they'll be very happy to be involved in your economy, but it's not gonna be really that productive. And so the only way that you can do this is by running online marketing, using Facebook ads and using pay-per-click advertising, blanketing that area in an effort to then find the low-hanging fruit deals in those platforms. I know you're thinking to yourself, Chico, this is so self-serving of you. Why? Because you have a course that teaches people how to find motivated sellers online using Facebook and pay-per-click. Yes, I know it is very self-serving, but it is good for you, and I'm right. And so go ahead and click on the link in the description if you want more information about that. So what kind of results can you expect when you're targeting the entire state of Florida or any one of these regions? So let's say, for example, if you're targeting the entire state of Florida or your state, you're going to have leads at about $30 to $35 a lead. If you're targeting a grouping of states, then your cost per lead now will decrease to somewhere around $15 to $20 a lead. If you're targeting the entire country, then you can get leads as cheap as $7 a lead. That's what we're averaging right now. Just to compare this with direct mail, for example, you could have a cost per lead of $200. So that means that to get 5 leads into your hands, it's going to cost you $1,000. But what if instead you were doing online lead generation, targeting nationwide? You could have 142 leads for the same amount of money. Do you think it's more possible, more probable that you would be able to find a deal with 142 leads or with 5 leads? I'm going to pause, let you ponder that, and I think we both know the answer to that question. Now here's the thing, not only is it going to cost you less money to find deals, but it's also going to be less competition. Because unlike conventional marketing methods where you're targeting the same list, everybody's going after the tax delinquent list or the landlord list, you are getting sellers that are not on anyone else's list. That means that they're not targeted by other real estate investors. So that means that when you are speaking with a property owner, they are not speaking with other real estate investors. You have them all to yourself. So let's talk about the second component of this new model, Virtual Wholesaling 10.0, and that is becoming a deal finder as opposed to a real estate investor. What most people don't realize is that when it comes to the wholesaling game, you don't really need to be a great real estate investor. In fact, it's to your detriment to become an amazing real estate investor that knows 10, 15 different ways to slice and dice a deal. Why? Because if you got no deals, the only thing you're gonna slice is your fingers. What you want is the ability to know how to, on demand, go out and generate motivated sellers that are raising their hands and saying, yes, please, I'm interested in receiving an offer on my property. That is the key to this business. Now, when you become a deal finder, when you become someone that can generate that type of volume, then the world is your oyster. Why? Because now you can tap into other people's hard work and reap the benefits of doing deals and not have to do any of the grunt work. Because isn't that what America is all about? Not doing the grunt work and making all the money? Or is that Russia? I can't seem to remember which one it was. Let me share with you a story. I am doing lead generation in the state of Florida, across multiple states, and also across the country. I was on the phone doing a video teaching you how to talk to motivated sellers, and I was on the phone talking to sellers. And I talked to a seller that seemed like, wow, seems like this is a good deal. Zillow shows that the property is worth 200 and the seller says, I want 150. I don't know about you, but it doesn't take too much of a rocket scientist or doesn't take too much know-how to know that, hey, I think there might be a deal here because they're asking less than Zillow value. So I could have negotiated that deal with the property owner. I could have sent them a contract, and then I would have then had to deal with finding a buyer and all that other stuff. And say what I did is I ended up knowing somebody in that local area, and I called them up and I said, hey, I've got a great deal here. It looks like, would you be willing to split the deal with me? And they said, of course, yes. Why? Because they're not doing what I'm doing and they don't have any leads. What happened is that they went out and spoke with the property owner the next day, put the property in the contract, and within an hour had it sold. We split the deal and I made just as much money as they did, but I didn't do any work. The only work I did was just sit at home, playing with my Facebook ads, generating leads. That is a strategy that I'm proposing for you here. Because in that scenario, when I did that, I did not need to know how to run comps. I saw the Zillow and the person wanted $50,000 less than Zillow. That's enough for you to know that, hey, there might be a deal here. Secondarily, I didn't have to worry about finding cash buyers. I didn't have to worry about meeting with the property owner. Didn't have to worry about contracts, none of that. All I did was pass off the lead to another real estate investor, and that was it. The great thing about this is that I am doing this across several markets. So that means that I've had deals going on in a bunch of different places without me ever having to negotiate with a seller, determining comps. Now the person on the other side is very happy. Why? Because I provided them with a lead source that did not have access to. I gave them the ability to hand deliver to them a seller that they can talk to, they can put the property in the contract, and now they can put a deal together, and it's a win-win situation for both of us. So the big question is, if you know how to run Facebook ads, Chico, this was somebody that you knew, how can I go about finding someone just like that? Well, it's not that terribly difficult, and I'm going to give you some tips here on how to do that. You want somebody that has distribution. And by that I mean you want somebody that has a buyer's list, that has multiple buyers that you can tap into that one person, and through that individual now you have access to a variety of different buyers. How do you find that person? The best way to find it in this method is to find them through credibility. What do I mean by that? Is you want somebody who is credible. You want somebody who has a active buyer's list, who is successfully doing deals each and every single month, that then is not going to want their reputation tarnished, because they're not going to go around your back. They're going to do the best they can for you because they want repeat business from you, and they want to keep their reputation intact. So how do you find those individuals? A great place to go would be to go to your local real estate investing club. You can look online, you can look on Facebook, you can find them. And when you find them, then you can ask them, hey, do you work with other investors that have deals, and will you partner up with them and wholesale those deals? Many times they do have an active buyer's list. Now, if you get a deal that's in a secondary market, let's say that I get a deal that is not in Memphis, Tennessee, but maybe a secondary town. So what I would do is that if that small little town does not have a local real estate investing group, then I just zoom out the map and look for the nearest place that is the largest metropolitan area, and reach out to people in that market, because they will likely be able to either sell your deal, or number two, they'd be able to give you a recommendation on someone else. And if you go to a trusted source, like the local real estate investing club as an example, then they're going to recommend someone that they trust. Now you're getting someone that you can trust because of the fact that it was recommended by somebody else. And in general, they're not going to want to give you somebody that is going to screw you, and then you're going to come back to them and say, hey, that guy that you recommended me, they screwed me out of the deal. Because that's the biggest thing that people have a fear about when operating inside this model. The other thing is check out Keegley Homes. Keegley Homes, they wholesale properties all throughout the country. They have a variety of different markets that they service. Go to them, see what markets are in, see if the market that you got a deal in, or maybe got a lead in a secondary smaller market, what is the next largest market, metropolitan area, and see if they're there, and then you can go to them. Another buyer would be Homevestors. You can go to homevestors.com, see where all the franchises are, and then go and see if they have a franchise near where you just picked up this lead, and see if you can work with them. Again, you're dealing with somebody who is legitimate, who spent a lot of money to become a franchise of Homevestors. They are going to be legitimate. They're not going to screw you because they have a reputation that they want to keep intact. If they screw you, you can always call their corporate office and complain, and I'm sure that that would cause a lot of problems. So again, there's something there to help protect you. You can also go to groups like my good friends Alex Youngblood's Wholesaling Houses Full Time. That's a great group to network, but it's a great group to ask, hey, does anybody have any buyers in this particular market? And many times you're going to get a recommendation. And again, vet these people, because you're going into a group, so you don't know who you're talking to. I recommend you go at them in the order that I recommended them to you. Also, you want to make sure that you get subscribed to my email list or be a subscriber to the channel, because in the near future we're going to be providing a source of real estate wholesalers and buyers that then, when you get deals in these other different markets that you know nothing about, I can help you tap into buyers or wholesalers that can help you move these deals. The other thing you want to do is you want to make sure you get a JV agreement signed, such that now you're protected. Now there's particular things and the way that you should phrase that JV agreement so that makes sure that you don't get screwed, but yet it gives you the best chance possible to help them get your deal sold. What I have done for you is, if you check out the links in the description, there's going to be a link for you to get a copy of my JV agreement, so that way you can use it and you can make sure you don't get screwed. Bottom line is that if you're tired of not getting any deals, if you're tired of competing with other real estate investors, if you're tired of cold calling and them telling you you're the fifth person that called, if you're tired of maybe putting your attorney on a retainer because you're afraid of sending out an unsolicited text, maybe, just maybe, there might be a solution for you, and that is in fact Virtual Wholesaling 10.0, that can liberate you, that can help you find motivated sellers that are not in contact with other real estate investors, but most importantly, to put you in a position where you can make just as much money with a lot less work and make it a win-win for you and someone else. By the way, if you're interested in liberating yourself from cold calling and SMS, there's a video that'll pop up here or there somewhere that teaches you how to run Facebook ads for motivated sellers. Check out that video, and I guarantee that your world will be changed forever.